Alright, y'all. I think this is long overdue. Finally gonna make it. Fuck it. Let everyone know what's up and let everyone know my plans for my comeback basically here. My name's Tyler Shirey. I'm 21 years old now. I live in Houston, Texas, a general area, and I'm now at Diesel Tech working on pickup trucks, right? And when I was 15, I did something crazy that changed my life forever. And y'all know me for being on steroids for a year when I was 15. It's all you saw all what it was, you know, it's true. So this is unscripted completely, as you can probably tell already. I suck at being on camera, but I got a list of questions that some people on Facebook basically have reached out to ask me whenever I asked y'all what y'all think I should cover in this video, basically, because I told everyone it was going to be made. So I'm trying to keep this video under like 15 minutes or so. I have a lot to say about everything, and obviously I'm gonna have to make more videos, but to keep it short for now, at least as an introduction, I'm gonna try to keep it under 15 minutes. But so I got a bunch of questions here. Some I got like marked for being more important, so I'll spend more time on some of the others. I'll try to save those for last. So first, question that someone had asked me is how I feel about if I want to live past 40 or die before 40, like I said when I was 15. Obviously, the way I see it, it's kind of the same way still, to be honest. If I can't take care of myself and if I can't enjoy the things I like to do, which is physical, a bunch of physical stuff, basically the gym, work, being able to walk around outside, you know, all that good stuff. If I can't enjoy that without, you know, having issues, then whatever age that might be, I'd honestly rather just not live. Like, even if that meant like I was disabled or anything like that, I'd rather just, if I can't live my life to the full potential and there's no hope for it, then honestly I'd still probably feel the same way. But I was a little more arrogant about it back then, just saying straight up I want to die before 40. It kind of obviously didn't make much sense. Anyways, next question, reason for deleting my Instagram. So this one got a lot of controversy for whatever reason. I don't know why everyone was so surprised, or like the guesses were kind of wild, some of them. But basically, once I started to get that much attention, my parents were aware that I was getting a lot of attention on social media, but they were not aware that I was using, obviously, because you know, they would have probably shut that shit down a lot longer ago than that. Although I was sneaky about it, and they kind of gave me enough freedom to be able to do it and it not be an issue. But once I got that much attention, they didn't force me to shut it down, because they saw like I was finally doing what I've been trying to do for like a year straight before that, basically. But she talked to me and was like, my mom talked to me, and she was like, she basically explained, you know, like that it's putting her at risk, obviously, because I'm 15. So, and I understood that at the time. I was like, you know what, that's a good point. I don't want to get you in trouble for me trying to, you know, selfishly get a lot of attention, basically. But so that's it for that. So my personal experience with gear at that age, so that's kind of a good question, because not many people can answer that. Obviously, taking gear at 15 is a pretty uncommon thing to do, I would say, even especially the amount I was taking and how serious I was about it. So everyone says I don't know what the fuck I was doing at the time. I did, and I was well aware of the consequences that could have came from it. I was well aware. I did my research. You can ask anyone that knew me back at the time. I was at least aware of what I was doing. Maybe not the full extent, but I knew that I could hurt myself or shut myself down for life. I didn't grasp it, like the severity of what could possibly happen, but I knew that it was possible, and I accepted that. And I still feel the same way in that sense, because honestly, like, to put it simply, anything that's worth doing is worth overdoing. And if I'm not getting the results I need, I'm gonna keep looking for new ways to get those results. I mean, there's a ton of resources that everyone has disposal to, no matter what your goal is trying to be. With bodybuilding, you can't get big, and you have that. Fucking can't focus. There's drugs to help you, your chemical balance in your head, to fix that. Depression, you can fix that. There's a ton of options, but a lot of people like to discredit those options because people put a bad label on them, usually because of like because of like me being 15 abusing them. So the irony. But yeah, so my experience though, it was great gains, and I felt amazing while I was on it. Not to encourage anyone of that age to try it at all. It was a terrible idea, you know. Obviously a lot of people try to tell me that. I knew I didn't give a fuck, like I said, but definitely wouldn't recommend anyone to do that at all. Hell no, terrible idea. I got lucky. I'll explain that in a second, but I got lucky. Not everyone's gonna get lucky, you know. It's a 50-50 for the most part, unless you really know what you're doing, and at 15 you more than likely really don't know what you're doing. It's possible though, because I to an extent I did, and I was able to do it correctly enough to be able to get off and be good. But I'll explain that, like I said. How I got it and paid for it, that's an interesting question too. So I had people that saw my progress from my local gyms and just around in general, and I acted real arrogant online, but if you were to know me in person and actually like catch me at the right time, or like catch me when I'm not trying to be a douchebag basically, then you would know that I was super ambitious and I had like positive motives to get attention for that. Although I wasn't portraying that yet. I was just being a 15-year-old on steroids. That's what I was being. Anyways, how the attention felt and how I dealt with it, and what I think about it now. So how the attention felt, for some reason it didn't even feel like it never really registered, and still didn't, that I made that much like commotion at 15 on the internet. It was just because everyone wants to see everyone loves to see a train wreck, or something that could potentially go bad, or something that's like that's experimental and no one has any idea what's going to happen. A lot of people act like they did, but what is their clinical trial on a 15-year-old abusing steroids? No, you have no idea what's going to happen. So while a lot of the advice those people gave me, or try to give me, like I get, because if I saw a 15-year-old doing that shit, I'd want to like try to talk them out of it. But what y'all didn't see though is that I knew what the fuck I was doing to an extent. Of course, I didn't know all of it, but I knew what I was, you know, I knew what I was getting into more than a lot of people that are my age, 21 now, and taking it, and they have no idea still. So like, yeah, I was young, my body wasn't developed yet, but I had a good grasp on what I was doing. And I have an addictive personality, so that's why the abuse started happening, the shoving grams of test a week into me at 15 and a half years old. Pretty intense. So how I dealt with it at the time, I mean, it wasn't that big of a deal. It was definitely like a big boost to my ego, which was not necessarily a good thing, obviously, because I already had a pretty big fragile ego at that time. And obviously this is something I wasn't aware of at that age. I was pretty self-aware at 15, but you know, hindsight's always 20/20. I was not as aware as I am now, of course. So looking back, there's a lot of things I would have done differently, could have done differently, but I'm glad I did everything the way I did, because it shaped me to who I am now, which is like, I tried everything and failed first before anyone else did that. You know, I started early, figured out, you know, my body at an earlier age, figured out like hard work and discipline and all that during that time. So I'm definitely glad I did it. I don't regret it at all. I didn't have any issues coming off at all. I used HCG for 2 weeks and blasted it per Boston Lloyd's advice, trying to help me out to get off. By the way, Boston, I appreciate what you did for me. You tried to help me a lot, shouted me out, got me a lot of attention. Boston's a good dude. Hit me up, Boston. We can make a video together now. Anyways. Oh. And how I got attention, like how I was able to get everyone's attention so quickly too. I'd only been like trying for attention for like a month or two before it actually reached someone that had a big following, and I blew up. So basically I did what, like, the craziest shit I could think of. Like, I was thinking at the time, what, everyone's 15 and posting pictures of themselves. You know, there's a lot of bodybuilder or people that try to bodybuild at 15 post normal pictures of themselves. And even if you see a swole one, for the most part, like, yeah, you might follow him or something, but it ain't gonna reach no Boston Lloyd, or, I mean, obviously, I'm not saying he's the best example, but it ain't gonna reach anyone like that has a big following unless you're doing something out of the ordinary, like that no one else is doing. So that's kind of where that came from. Naturally, I wasn't a very big, you know, kid, but using that, now I'm like, I mean, I barely work out, to be honest now. The past couple weeks I've been back on it, but I'm a diesel mechanic now. I work outside all day for 10 to 12 hours a day, and sweating all day, and my hands and joints and all that shit start to hurt. But anyways, so for a while there, it was down to like 3 or 4 times a week, 30 to 45 minute high intensity sessions, and that's it. No cardio or nothing. Diet's complete shit, like complete shit. Not gonna hide that. My diet is absolute garbage. I do intermittent fasting, but then the things I eat are trash. So, but that's, I mean, I'm pretty lean now. Still like 195, 6'1" now. I was 5'8". Actually, I wasn't fucking lying. I don't know why I would lie about my height. I was 5'8", and I got to 220 right after 16. That was the biggest I got from it. And when I ran at the height of everything, a lot of people asked that too. I didn't write it down, but I just remembered. So what worked best for me at that age, which is kind of like a controversial thing to talk about, I'm sure. I'm not trying to encourage anyone, or please don't try this shit, because don't. It's not worth it. So the best results obviously I got was running from Tren and Test E, a stupid retarded amount of test with a little Tren, and that was kind of when I started to look like more serious, I guess. I don't know how to explain it. Like, I don't know what it is, but there's like a point in bodybuilding or in trying to get big that you just start to look like you've been doing it, like that's what you do. You can tell between someone that's like just gained a lot of weight recently, and they're like, you know, I don't know if it's their charisma or like, I think it's like how they look. You can see like muscular maturity, maybe, I don't know, whatever it is, but you can tell when someone's got their shit right, you know, and they've been doing it, or they're a bodybuilder or something like that, versus someone that's just big or whatever. But so yeah, at my biggest point, it was from taking test and Tren, but it was all the way up to taking 2 grams of test a week and like 300 or 400 milligrams of Tren. Very stupid amounts of drugs. The dosing was not calculated mathematically. Yeah, something like that. Not worth it. Tren is terrible. I had terrible nightmares from it. Like really, really demonic, scary, devil nightmares. But I got fucking big, so that's all that matters. So obviously I'm not the same person I used to be at 15, right? I'm not gonna show that to y'all, at least. Like, I'm not gonna act that way. I wasn't really what y'all saw, but I'm not gonna be. I developed, I can be myself now, is what I'm trying to say. So I'm 21 now, I'm a diesel mechanic. I make good money, I got my own shit together, my truck, my apartment, all that stuff. So a lot of people were saying I wasn't gonna get my life together, or like never amount to anything because of that, or that was gonna fuck with my psychological part of my head to the point where I can't, you know, get off of it or anything like that. But clearly I've proven that wrong. I mean, I'm doing a lot better than, honestly, I'm doing better than anyone that I know my age. I'm more ambitious, dedicated. I've focused to my, like, trying to perfect my work. I take a lot of pride in my work. What I like, being a mechanic like I am, a diesel tech, is literally my passion. Is I wake up every morning just excited as hell to go to work. It's the best feeling ever. So all this change was due to my whole life changed, right? So, and this is starting back from 15 to now. I'm gonna tell you the chain of events as far as how my mental health or my mindset towards life. So 15, before I started, I was kind of down and more like, I guess, a beta, you know, small and just insecure. Couldn't see myself being anything crazy. Like I couldn't imagine myself getting big for real, or being a bodybuilder, especially getting all that attention or anything like that, until it happened. So being a beta at that age, what was another reason that drove me to taking steroids. I felt like that that was the only way I could feel like a man, as if I was swole and big, because you know, that's kind of just who I naturally started to model myself after, as of a man, you know. But sorry, mouth dry. So I get on, you know, steroids at about 15, maybe a little after my 15th birthday. I get on just test alone. Not a crazy amount or anything starting out. That just progressed and got carried away. But anyways, so I get on there, and once it's in a full effect, I feel like I'm on top of the world. And they like gave me a, once I felt that, I couldn't accept that I'm gonna be a bitch ever again, or a beta ever again, or let, you know, be insecure, or let anyone tell me shit to do or anything like that. So it changed my mindset like that forever. Even after getting off, once I got a taste for that mindset of like, kind of like the world's yours, and like you're in control of how people respect you and how people look at you and everything like that. Like, once I seen that, I couldn't go back to my old mindset. But a little bit down the line was this 2 years later, at about 17 years old, I enlisted in the Marines, trying to go for 0321 reconnaissance, and I shipped off to MCRD San Diego a little bit after my 18th birthday. I think it was like 3 months after my 18th birthday, so it was like February of 2018 or something like that. And shipped off to MCRD San Diego, was there for 3 weeks before getting medically discharged for my hearing. Basically, I couldn't pass. There was a ring test that they have there at boot camp for the Marines that is high-pitched noises, and they tested me multiple times on that, kept failing, took me into a special test with words and noises that are extremely hard to hear, evidently, and I couldn't pass that either. So they said, you know, you can't do recon. There's other jobs like admin, which is like office job as a Marine, basically, or things like that. And I was like, you know what? No, if I can't, you know, do what I want to do, I would just rather find my own way. And that's exactly what I did. So I got back, and this is when I went through a period of time where I was depressed from getting back from the Marines, because once I got off, my purpose was focused on the Marines, and I felt like I was going to make a change and go fight and all that, you know. So I had a good purpose, and I had a good drive because of that purpose. Once I got back from the Marines after getting shot down like that, you know, expecting to go and expecting my life to go one way for so long, which is, you know, something I shouldn't have done, obviously, in hindsight. But I was depressed or I say depressed, it was anxiety, depression, and not knowing I had ADHD. It was very confusing between the three. But I went through a period of time, about 2-3 years of feeling like a beta bitch again, feeling like a victim to the world, feeling like I couldn't do anything crazy, like I'm not special, you know, losing my drive as a man, just no respect for myself. Started getting out of the gym, got a little soft, I wouldn't say fat, but like abs started disappearing, and I got weak, and it was a really, really, really shitty feeling after being in shape and dedicated to bodybuilding, and then straight to Marines. And then obviously I played football during high school, I played baseball during high school. So while the Marines was going on, I had all the sports I was dedicated to. You know, I excelled as, well, not obviously, it's kind of arrogant to say, but I excelled as an athlete at my school. Played football, played defensive end, I played baseball as a pitcher only, powerlifting, totaled like 1450. Junior year was the last year I powerlifted. I ended up leaving early for the Marines, so I graduated a semester early, I think it is. Half of the year I graduated half early to go to the Marines sooner, because I was bored with life again, kind of, and wanted something to go fight for, or something to struggle with, you know, something along those lines, and that didn't work out. So I ended up going to a school called UTI, which is in Houston, Texas. It's Universal Technical Institute, and learned diesel engines and how 18-wheelers work, and it teaches you all that stuff. I took the diesel industrial course and learned a lot there. That took about a year and 4 months. that was including, I did an extracurricular program as well, Cummins engine program, which is a prestige program for graduates that have a good GPA, good attendance, and all that stuff. So I was dedicated at the time. I hated it. It sucked. School was from 6:30 a.m. to 12:45 p.m. every day, and I lived an hour and a half away from school. So for 5 days a week for a year and 4 months straight, I woke up at 4 a.m. and drove an hour and a half both ways and worked at a lube shop doing oil changes for $9 an hour. I would work 30 hours a week and make, you know, like $220 or some stupid shit like that. Just, I knew I had to do it though, because, you know, I had to pay for what I needed to do and put in my dues basically for, oh, we're at 20 minutes already. Wow, I'm sorry. But put in my dues for, yeah, that. So I'm just trying to get y'all to understand, kind of get an understanding of me now, because I've changed a lot. My perspective, everything changed a lot on that. So anyways, I'll move on. So what are my plans for like coming back, and what am I going to be focused on now? So obviously the gym, I'm real big on the gym, and that never really stopped. It slowed down a couple times and went up a couple times, but I'm still you know, obsessed with the way I look. Not to an extent like I was then, but I still work on it on a daily basis and take everything I do, I take into consideration my body. So I'm not the healthiest or anything, but I still try to look good and maintain my health to the point where I can look good and where I can do my work and go to the gym and maintain any friendships, relationships healthily without, you know, feeling like shit or pressed or anything like that. So my plans though are to focus on basically, I feel like I can change people's lives. I can change a lot of people's lives. I'm kind of nervous on this introduction. I've never made a video like this. I'm at a beach right now, or I'm at the beach in Galveston right now, and I'm trying to just answer the questions best I can. But yeah, I'm kind of camera shy naturally. This is something that's out of my comfort zone, which is why I didn't do it as much as I should have when I was 15. You know, make YouTube videos and shit. But definitely out of my comfort zone. But try my best here. Yeah, I plan on being trying to change lives the best I can. So I feel like I was put on this earth and went through all that to show people that there's another side to it, because I feel like there's a lot of, actually I know for a fact there's a lot of people my age that are going through the same problem I was going through at the time, which isn't just trying to get big. It's a problem with your self-esteem and self-confidence and your ego, that you know, it's pretty common to go through, I would say, at that age, you know, around puberty time, and everyone, you know, hits puberty at different times, and their mindset changes differently depending on circumstances in their life. But there's definitely a lot of kids that are trying to follow my footsteps, you know, thinking that it was the way that I changed and became, you know, like an alpha basically instead of a beta. So that's not the way though, and it's not the only way. I mean, it's not the way. Let me explain. No matter how big you are or how strong you are, how much roids you're on, how crazy you sound or act, you're never gonna get the respect that you're chasing, which is what, I mean, psychologically, there's only like, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. You can't, that's the only thing that you could really possibly be doing it for, is respect. So respect from females, in a sense that you can talk to them and actually be successful with them. So that's one thing psychologically males are pretty much always going to be trying to achieve, is respect from females in that way, and then from males as in respect, physical respect, like no one's going to fuck with you, talk shit to you, they're intimidated by you, all that stuff. However, that no matter how big you are, how much shit you take, all that, you're never going to get the respect you are going for until you obtain a masculine frame, which is something that psychology talks about a lot. But it is I can tell you for a fact, because I've gone through it and I've developed mine, and I've spent multiple months alone blocking everyone out, of just trying to focus on developing something called a frame, which would be the way you carry yourself, basically. It's your energy, your aura, your respect, and the way people look at you, the presence you have whenever you walk in a room. Your frame is how you get respect and how you get women and how you get success. But what it entails is emotional intelligence, so being able to use your emotions to your advantage rather than your emotions having any control over you, or any, dictation in your life. Like if someone can control you using your emotions easily, then whenever conflict happens, you're not going to be successful if someone can just attack your emotions. And it's gonna, especially as a man, that's you have to have emotional control if you're going to be able to do big things, because big things come with a lot of stress, a lot of uncertainty, and if you let that get the best of you, you're just going to shut yourself down more than likely, and yeah, you're never going to reach that goal you're going for. I mean, you have to have a mental fortitude, and I know it sounds cliche saying this, but it's like, I wish I could explain how true it is. Once you change that mindset that you're struggling with, the mindset that put you in the spot you're in, and the mindset that's keeping you there, once you change that for the better and figure out how powerful it is, the way you talk to yourself, the things you watch on TV, the things your friends are telling you, like things written on walls, like it's everything. And it's not a conscious thought always. It can be subconsciously destroying you too. Like, it doesn't have to be something that you're like actively stressed about, but if your brain doesn't have closure on something, or if it is like someone says something and it hurts you, and then you're just like, screw it, and then move on. Like, unless you come up with a way to think of that problem differently and control that emotion, then for one, it's always going to be in the back of your head as an insecurity. Someone talks about that whatever triggers that emotion, and they got you, so you're always going to be worried about that subconsciously. And then for two, they got complete control over you. I mean, you're fucking just using words, someone can ruin your day. Like, that's no way to be with how much talking there is. I mean, someone's gonna start saying some stupid shit at least at one point in the day if you're living an active social life. I mean, if you can't take it and either ignore it or positively think about it or something, and everything that everyone says is bothering you and making you mad, and you want to talk shit back or fight over it, then I've done it. Trust me. Like, I know I'm young and haven't like had a lot of actual like time experience, but I've gone through a lot, and I can tell you that shit will not work. You will not be able to get anywhere or get what you want if you don't know how to use your emotions to your advantage. And two, obviously developing like masculine traits and habits. So, and I don't mean just like masculine, like male, big, strong, hairy, fucking nasty masculine. I mean like masculine as in disciplined, and masculine as in saying no to shit that doesn't align with your morals, having good morals, being physically strong, mentally strong, all that, as comes together as one into what I would call masculine. And then obviously knowing how to channel that and not get retarded with it, which is why emotional control goes hand in hand with that. Because if you let your masculinity get taken too far, then that's how some people end up being rapists or killers or gang members and all that stuff. It's masculinity with no emotional control or no guidance, maybe no father or something like that can end up like that too. But it's the most important thing. I can't express it enough how important it is just to think of things in a good way and talk to yourself positively. What I do is I think of everything as a test. If shit's going wrong and it's just non-stop, one thing after another hitting me now, I'm just like, man, this motherfucker testing me, like life is really trying to get me, but it's fucking life. And what am I gonna do? If you got a bunch of problems, the way I see it, the best thing to do, just one at a time. Keep taking the hits, fuck it. You want to keep beating me while I'm down, whatever, I'm just gonna keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going until I get back up. And once you do get back up after that, you've learned countless lessons. You've learned who you are. That's probably the most important one, and also build your character. So pay attention to whenever your life is beating you down, or like shit's just going wrong nonstop, everything you try is failing. pay attention and stay positive at that time. You got to catch it though. I mean, obviously you got to be aware enough to know when that's happening, and know whenever you're getting to the point where you start, you know, relapsing, or when you start getting abusive, when you start getting whatever, and make sure you don't get back to the point that you're trying to get away from. I can't express enough how much your life will change, and how much people will respect you. I cannot express it. This is why I feel like I need to do this. Is I have so much to say on this topic, and I know I can help millions of people with it. So all my intentions here are positive. I'm speaking from my heart. Literally, I have no script. I have a page with notes written down, but all my answers here, as you can tell, they're kind of all over the place, but straight up how I feel. And I do appreciate a lot of y'all that actually stuck around and supported me. And a lot, actually, I even thank the people that hated me, because I mean, y'all made me who I am in a way, and I'm sure y'all's life sucks still if you were hating on a 15-year-old. So I don't have to really say anything about that, because, you know, you're a piece of shit still, or maybe you change too. You know, hopefully that'd be cool. Or maybe I can change you now that I'm smarter than you, or older than you, or old enough for you to listen to me, or you can see it. I don't know. But yeah, so if you were hating on me, whatever, I mean, it's the internet. So hopefully y'all are doing something better by now with your lives, other than worrying about a 15-year-old. If you were all negative about it, if you didn't like it, just, you know, you could just look away or whatever, because there's a lot worse going on than that, I promise you that. And I'm still fucking swole as hell, still looking good, still taking care of myself. My natty production levels are fucking through the roof still. I kept growing. My dick works. I'm straight. I'm better, and probably better than you. It sounds cocky, but yeah, probably more than likely, if you were hating me, I'm definitely doing better than you. And I even was when I was 15, to be honest, because I was enjoying life. I still am. I got a great mindset on life, and I know this is going to get big, and I'm going to be able to change a lot of people's lives, which is really what I'm going for here. Help everyone out. Let everyone know that, especially, you know, people young and going through similar things that I did, that you're definitely not alone, and that there's a universal answer for everything, if you break it down simply enough. So if I can even change 100 people's lives off of this, then it's all worth it. And you know, I broke out of my comfort zone, which is something good to do. I always encourage that. So either way, y'all like this or don't, or if this goes big or not, then either way, it was worth it to me. All that shit was worth it. Everything was worth it. I have no regrets over the situation. It was fun. I had fun doing it. I had fun after. I had fun now. And then on the last thing I want to say is, if your brain is non-stop screaming at you to do something, do not keep ignoring it. Figure out why, for one, and fucking do it, because you never know what that one thing that it's telling you to do is gonna unlock for you in life, you know. I feel like it was probably one video I watched that completely changed my entire life. Like, it changed my mindset, which is what the start was, but just off of thinking or hearing the way that this man thought of things, and I was like, wow, that's a perfect way to think of it. And it just resonated with me, and my entire life changed. Everything got better. My depression was gone. I figured out solutions to problems that I've been having for years that I couldn't figure out, or I thought I couldn't figure out. I just wasn't trying. I wasn't putting in the effort that I thought I was. Even when I was 15, I thought I was giving my all, but looking back now, I could have gave way more. And I was doing it the wrong way. So, but yeah, hope y'all like this. Hopefully it gets big, and I'm trying to change I'm trying to change the world, but that's a big goal. So we got a lot of work to do. This is just step one. Definitely longer than I expected to be, 34 minutes, but I think I covered a lot. And yeah, whatever questions y'all got next, drop them down in the comments. I got to figure out how to upload this and make a YouTube account, I think, because I'm not good at that, but I'll figure that out. And then yeah, y'all just let me know what y'all thought of this, and I'll show y'all what's going on here.